What's up with Mrs. Norris and Crookshanks?
Did Dumbledore even know Hermione and Ron?
What did Crabbe and Goyle do in their free time? Welcome to the Pottership Podcast,
where we chat about the beloved Potter characters and their relationships.
We dissect,
speculate,
and outright laugh our way through headcanons.
So, all aboard! Don't forget, our shows are rated O for of-age wizards. That means if you have to ask your parents' permission for anything, you might want to come back later. If you get to stay, though, remember this show contains spoilers, discussions of alcohol, discussions of sex, and all those other things that you probably need to be of age to hear. Thanks. Hey, everybody. It's Mel, mother to Kiss and Butter, who's barking, so that's why my voice is all messed up. And owner of many wands, Happy Puff, who loves summer, and we are in the middle of a heat wave, so I'm a happy Puff.
Hi, it's TC, mother to baby Padfoot and little Lupin, and excited Ravenclaw. As you will find out, tonight that we're recording is a very special night.
And it's Sam, mother to Bingley, and I am literally allergic to summer, so I'm not loving this, but it brings a lot of other people joy, so that brings me joy.
But you can come get in the pool and then you wouldn't be so allergic.
Exactly.
So there you go.
So, okay.
Fair enough.
All my problems are solved, never mind.
So TC, why are you so excited about us recording tonight?
I'm excited because we are recording this episode on our 4-year anniversary of when our podcast went live.
My mind is blown.
It's insane. I said to Sam, it took us almost this long to convince Mel to do a podcast.
Right? The fact that we have not only done it, but done it well enough that all of you are listening to us. I thank you. Thank you. Because
truly,
wow.
And that 2 seconds ago, we got a video from a Harry Potter content creator.
Right?
We've come so far from trying to fill the pandemic days.
I'm so happy. And honestly, the fact that our name actually has, like, people recognize the name of the podcast, like, that blows my mind.
Honestly, I have to say, I have to reiterate what Mel said. Thank you. Those of you who have been there, especially since the beginning and been listening to us and have followed us, and those of you who have binged all the way back, God bless you. This is amazing. Thank you so much for listening to our nonsense and enjoying it, I hope, as much as we enjoy just spending time together and recording these crazy bits of our brains.
We started it just as an excuse to see each other on a regular basis. So the fact that people actually enjoy being part of the conversation is lovely.
Right?
It is. Speaking of people being part of the conversation,
we have cannonballs.
We do. Mel, do you want to do Lydia's cannonballs and then I'll do
Sure.
Amy's?
So Lydia, when it answered one of our requests to answer a show host question. So we appreciate you, Lydia. Thank you. And the one that she did was, what would the different teachers be at public schools? Which I love these answers. So for Hagrid, she wrote hip hop education. I love the idea that Hagrid loves everything about hip hop, knows its history, and his favorite artist is Gangstar.
Oh my God.
And then Lupin, AP Lit, because of course. Trelawney, intro to art. She fancies herself an art teacher, but the only thing she knows how to paint is Starry Night. Vector, tech ed, and phys ed. She's pulling double duty. Yes, she's an expert in geometry and physics, but she's teaching them how to turn and create a vector in tech ed with the math and then build on it. Then she's teaching PE 1 period a day because her name is Vector, which is the best PE teacher name ever, after Hooch, of course.
Of course.
And then the final one was Lockhart, theater arts.
Oh my God.
Yes, that is a course in high school, as is creative writing TC. And obviously, Lockhart would fancy himself to be grooming the next group of EGOTs.
Oh my
Love it.
God.
Love it so much.
Oh my God. It's so accurate. It hurts.
So our next cannonball came from Amy P. God, I love her. Her insights are just incredible. She was writing in response to our Snape and Tom Riddle episode.
Yeah.
And what she said was the relationship between Snape and Voldemort is so fascinating to her. She said, I could see it almost being at times like a pervasive father figure dynamic in the beginning when Snape was an invested Death Eater. How Voldemort taught him to fly unassisted, how they discussed once Lily died that there were other women more worthy of him, and how Voldemort did regret having to kill Severus. I know Voldemort doesn't love, but he could be charming, and I could see 17-year-old Snape joining the Death Eaters and believing he was cared for when Voldemort awarded him personal attention, taught him things, and trusted him with important information and appreciated his talents. She said, I remember reading an interview a long time ago that J.K. Rowling confirmed Snape's Belgart to be Voldemort. For this, I don't think Snape ever felt like he was the master. I think he was always afraid, but brave enough to continue to go back again and again anyway. I think Snape viewed Voldemort as the master until he turned to view Dumbledore as the master. I think he was too insecure to ever think of himself as a master in life, and that's why he is such a mean teacher. His students were the only people he felt above. I also thought this was cool. She said, the day that he learned that Harry needed to die in order for Voldemort to be defeated, and he decided to continue working with Dumbledore despite knowing he couldn't save Lily's son, was when she felt he was redeemed. So I thought that was really cool.
That is a really good point. I didn't think of that he continues to work with Dumbledore, even though his kind of life goal, in a weird, twisted way, he knows is going to fail. But
yeah, I
for the greater good.
I'm just glad Amy understands my not hatred of Snape. I mean, I can't say I like Snape. Nobody should like Snape. But I understand him and I get him in a way that makes me not hate him like he does, you know?
Yeah.
So I loved Amy's letter.
You have a healthy concern.
I have a healthy concern for how he treats others.
We do love Amy. Thank you so much. Please, anyone else, write in your answers to the show host question or any ships that you would like us to see us do. That would be wonderful.
Yeah,
absolutely. Speaking of show host questions, I have the show host question tonight.
Yay.
And
yay.
It was it was gonna be if Hogwarts was located in like backwoods South US.
Oh God.
What would it be called? Except one of the viable names is still Hogwarts.
Yes,
I was gonna say,
I was thinking that too.
Big Farts is the one that came to mind.
Like, so I'm gonna change it a little bit.
I got
yeah,
one.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yes.
Razorback Ranch.
You're yep. I'm gonna say this magic shit farm.
Oh, look, that's our t-shirt. That's our t-shirt for the episode. All right, yeah, that went over better than I thought. So I was thinking about it. I was like, that would be so much fun to ask, but it might still be Hogwarts.
Right?
But you still need one.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, donkey shits or something like that.
And it would still fit.
Mule shits, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's a mule. I was trying to think of what it's called.
I like it.
It works. It
All right.
works. I'm a fan.
And to any of our listeners who happen to live in the Deep South, we love you. We appreciate you. And although that joke could have been seen as tearing the Mickey out of you, and it was done in good fun.
Remember the healthy concern we were talking about with Snape?
Yeah.
That's how I feel about this.
I used to live in the Deep South. I've met enough people down there to know they have a great sense of humor about stereotypes about the Deep South.
Yeah, exactly. There are good people there. There are good people there.
Now, speaking of stereotypes, we are going to slip into a stereotypical topic of a boys' club.
Oh.
Now, here's the fun thing about this boys' club. 2 of the 3 have been discussed in an earlier episode with a different character. So I am personally looking forward to this discussion to see how we see Seamus and Dean differently when they are paired with Ron instead of Neville. And if you go back and listen, it was around episode like 20 where we did Neville, Seamus, and Dean. So I think throwing Ron in the mix is going to change it up. Of course, we know.
Oh, completely.
So let's get TC's Ron off of his pedestal.
Yep.
Mere mortal.
Wow.
And now
let's remember that Dean is not the actor.
Post.
And we're talking about Dean the character, not Dean
character, not he's turned into a very pretty actor.
Right.
I think the biggest thing is Dean's Muggle. Ron and Seamus were both raised in very wizarding households. Well, I mean, Seamus, as we know, me and Mam's a Muggle. Dad's a witch.
Well, both are half-blood, but you're right.
Did you just say Dad's a witch?
She said them backwards. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
that's great.
Me Dad's a Muggle, Mam's a witch.
Right. We've got a pureblood and a half-blood who was raised mostly wizard, and a half-blood who was raised mostly Muggle.
Yeah.
So it does change how they came into it too.
The football poster is one of the is something that I always think of as the pinnacle of their relationships, because it doesn't move because it's a Muggle poster, and Ron's just like, why isn't it moving? So, and I think it helps he's best friends with Harry, so he's best friends with someone who is also discovering the wizarding world. Mm-hmm. I think if he didn't have that, he may have been a little bit more annoying to Dean and a little bit more condescending.
Okay.
What I find interesting though is, and I know we'll go into deeper things when Mel gets to ask her questions, but one of the things that I've always thought was interesting is that although we have a pureblood and 2 half-bloods, one raised Muggle, one raised wizard, the pureblood seems to get along better with the Muggle-raised half-blood. Like, until Dean dates Ginny, Ron really seems to get along better with Dean than Seamus over the course of the 6 years they're in school.
And that's one of the points I was going to make is, I think coming and stemming from, here's the ships part, stemming from the fact that Ron is the youngest and has been treated like the baby and is never the person in his family that people go to for information, whatever. Having Harry in his life in general, and Dean and Hermione in many ways, those are the people who are looking to him for answers when nobody else ever does.
Oh,
even
that's
Ginny,
fair.
Even Ginny, who he's the closest with, isn't going to him for information. That she's going to him for friendship, for brotherly love, blah blah blah. But she's not looking to him to explain stuff.
Yeah,
these are people who need. I mean, the movies don't show it. So if you were listening to our podcast and you've only ever watched the movies, we come very much from the books. And I know we were probably just, for those who have been listening to this for 107 episodes, they're going, yeah, we know. But for anybody new, we really do come from the book angle. And in the books,